unreported or underreported or not reported at all. The multiple crimes committed by the Taliban against humanity include, but are not limited to, their inhuman punishments, summary executions, the terrorist parade of suicide bombers, targeted killing of religious minorities, systematic destruction of cultural heritage, radical attacks on schools and facilities, ethnic genocide of Hazaras and Tajiks in Panjshir and Andarab, forced displacement of and mass murder in Daikundi, Kandahar and many other areas of Afghanistan. Just this week they killed a 19-year-old boy in Badakhshan province for listening to music. One of their high-profile leaders is accused of raping a child, and they also assaulted and beat a former National Army sister after she denied their demand for inappropriate advances. Taliban have banned peaceful protests and have continuously lynched men and women on the streets. They have arrested and brutally beaten journalists. The Taliban are enforcing a blockade of humanitarian supplies in various districts of Afghanistan, all the while funneling the vast majority of aid to their terrorists, which constitutes a crime against international law, leading to the world's biggest humanitarian crisis. The World Food Programme has warned that Afghanistan will turn into hell on earth this winter. 95% of Afghan families do not have enough food to eat, and 18 million are on the verge of starvation. Since the fall of Afghanistan into the Taliban hands, Afghans have mobilized internally to support the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan to defend their land, culture and democracy. The front is made up of members of the general public and former Afghan security forces under the leadership of Ahmad Massoud. The objective of the National Resistance Front is to establish the rule of law and return power to the people through democracy, protection of human rights, reinstating national security so that people in Afghanistan can live their lives according to their moderate interpretation of Islam. The suffering of the masses and the resistance to the Taliban are not heard because the media has been suffocated. We are here today to give voice to the suffering of millions and call on the Australian community and government to assist us in rejecting the Taliban terrorists and their affiliates. We call on the Australian government to hold the Taliban to account for their crimes and not to recognise their illegitimate government. We call on the Australian government to assist in the provision of humanitarian assistance under the supervision of the United Nations. We call on the Australian government to increase its humanitarian intake for the Afghan people. We thank you for your solidarity with the people of Afghanistan and